Good morning, YouTube. It is now September 10th, 2024, 7:50 a.m. Nice not having to get up so early before the sun today. Picked up some different gigs, so I'm able to do some work other than Circle K. It doesn't necessarily pay more than Circle K, but a little bit. I'm working at another extended stay America. This is one I've never worked at before. Now, I've been scheduled to work at it through Winolo, but every time I've picked up shifts here, and I feel like I've done it twice that I've picked up shifts here, and they've canceled. I'm not sure offhand. I just know I'm very, very nervous they're going to cancel, so I'm still hanging on to my Circle K shifts for everything. But today, of course, this looks a little sus. Yeah, sure. Well, that was cool and unexpected. That was actually my neighbor whose name I always forget. I feel bad. He's a really nice guy. I think I'd remember his name by now. Older guy. Used to be a professional cyclist. Now he works as a part runner for an auto parts store, which honestly sounds like a good job and maybe something I should look into. Of course, the downside of him giving me a ride to the bus stop is now I'm here super early. But I appreciate the ride. It was nice to sit with him. Mostly he was talking to me about my Benz, telling me I should donate it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with the Benz, to be honest. I mean, the plan is largely to try to part out the more valuable parts and just sell the rest as a junk car with a good title. But it's something I haven't been working on during the summer just because it's too goddamn hot out to deal with anything. As it is, there's a lot of things in it I need to get out. So, 7:54 right now. God, it's probably a good thing he did get me a ride over, because the bus is scheduled for 7:59. I wish they designed these bus shelters in a way as to provide more shade. Because it's not so pleasant being under the glare of the sun when you're waiting for the bus. Trying to see how long I'm going to be sitting here waiting. Opening up the Valley Metro app in my iPhone, and interesting. It shows the bus scheduled for 7:55. I could have sworn when I checked the bus. Whoa, that was a crazy maneuver. That little SUV totally cut off the big SUV. That was really close to causing an accident. I guess it was too much to ask to wait for that gap in traffic that was right there. So yeah, I could have sworn the time I remembered was 7:59. I know I took a screenshot of it to remind myself, just in case I woke up and I was a little groggy on remembering it. I usually will screenshot the bus that I need to catch first thing the next day. Another person making a U-turn there in front of traffic. I would never attempt a U-turn at a spot like that. That's just not something I would do. If I needed to head back in the opposite direction, I would turn left there, then go up to Earl, and turn left again, and take Earl down to 44th Street, and turn left again, and then take 44th down to Thomas. Unless, of course, I was coming from Thomas in the opposite direction and I needed to go to one of the businesses here on the right side before 44th Street. In which case, I would have turned left on 44th Street, gone up to Earl, turned right, gone over to 46th, turned right, and then I would have made a right on Red onto Thomas, or Green if I got one, and gone to the business I was going. It just seems like a really unsafe place to make a U-turn, and I just saw two people do very questionable U-turns right while I'm sitting here trying to explain what's up with me and the buses. Anyway, 7:57 right now. The bus is going to be here at 8. It is at 52nd Street right now, so I should... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I left my bus pass at home. Yikes. I need to get cash. God damn it. Alright, so I got about 15 minutes until my bus transfer. Just got off the Route 29. And that one's running a little bit late now, to the point where the one that would be running behind it that started at 44th Street has actually caught up with it and passed it. It's so weird how that happens so frequently on the Route 29. And that guy with the skateboard had his hand up. I think he was trying to signal the driver to stop, but yeah, expecting drivers to actually pay attention to what's going on beside and behind the bus, and anybody signaling at them is asking too much. Although, to be fair, at all, you can see there's another 29 right there behind it. So I don't usually stress too much when the 29 is coming and it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to catch it, because there's always another one, at least in the daytime, when you're between 43rd Avenue and 44th Street. During the daytime, there's always another one, more or less right around the corner. I'm hungry. I think I'm going to head over to Burger King and try to get something to eat. So as I mentioned earlier, I did forget to bring, oh god damn it, my shoe is untied again already. Every fucking day. And of course, the most annoying thing about having my shoe untied is all the motherfuckers that gotta say, "Hey dude, don't trip, your shoe's untied." My shoes are untied all the time, and I have never once tripped as a result of my shoes being untied. Like, who are all these motherfuckers that are tripping over untied shoes? And I always throw them for a loop. I look them straight in the eye when they say that, and I say, why would I do that? And they never have an answer for that question. They never have any explanation as to why I would trip on my untied shoes. People are just so certain that that's going to happen. So some for 2 for $1.99. Oh, 2 for $7. Oh, where I get 2 for $1.99. Ain't nothing 2 for $1.99 anymore. 2 for $5 breakfast sandwiches. Yeah, it's probably the best I'm going to do today. I should have really ate something before heading out of the apartment. Just tired and groggy and never think to make food on my way out in the morning. So it's 8:35 a.m. I don't have to be to work until 9. I ended up catching one bus earlier than what I intended to catch, and that's sort of possible. This time of day, I think the Route 16 runs every 15 minutes, so it's actually pretty decent bus service in this part of Phoenix, at least in the daytime, between the Route 29 and the Route 16, which is not the main reason I chose to change jobs for today, but why I'm considering it for possibly the rest of the week. And I should probably explain what's going on with that. So, anyway, I'm here, 16th Street in Coulter, at the Extended Stay America. The one that has always canceled me whenever I've picked up shifts here. This is the one that's considered the Biltmore area one. And yeah, I'm very much in the Biltmore area. There's the Five and Diner across the street. And it's a really good location for a hotel because that's Coulter, the little bit of Coulter that connects to the 51 freeway. And then when you get to the 51 freeway, that's kind of a funny intersection. You got the 51 freeway and the ramps that go to the northbound and come from the southbound freeway, the freeway to the north. And then you've also got 18th Street from that intersection running south to Camelback. Now, Coulter does continue on the other side of that wall that's in front of me, but there's no connectivity between that intersection and Coulter. It's a residential street. No connectivity for cars. It is possible to walk it. Not that that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to find a shady place to sit down. I would have done it at the bus stop, but there was already somebody loitering there. I guess I could walk towards the freeway. My eyes are really bugging me today. So, I never did get around to explaining why or what happened, because I mentioned that I was scheduled. Oh, by the way, this marks exactly a week that I've been without a vehicle. So today starts my second week as a pedestrian. And it sucks a little bit less because I'm getting used to it, and I suppose that's a good thing. Wow, I never noticed that there's a park here. And I've driven by this so many times coming off the 51 freeway and heading to 16th Street. And I guess that just shows where my eyes are. When you're walking, you see stuff, and new pack and stack apartments to the north of the hotel. Never really noticed those before either. But yeah, when you're walking, you see things, and when you're driving, your focus is on the road, and as you can see, traffic enters kind of quickly from that ramp because it's a slip lane turning right. And yeah, when I'm doing that, my focus is there traffic coming from the left that I need to contend with? And then I quickly realize that the right lane is a free flow lane, and unlike that guy, I try to stay in it. Well, that guy quickly came out of it as well. I usually try to stay in it and establish myself in that lane, and then change lanes if I'm going to turn left at 16th Street. Oh, and as you can probably see, you can't go straight on Coulter from there, because again, Coulter is a residential street. They're trying to keep traffic off of it. That's interesting. Oh, it does say the park name. It's just really hard to read. Desert Storm Park. And the name of the park kind of coincides with, real clear here, Desert Storm Park. And the name of the park kind of coincides with the time it was made, because I'm sure this park would have been made when the 51 freeway was built through here, which was around the time of Desert Storm, late 1980s, 1990, somewhere in there. Seems like around 1989 or 1990 that they finished the 51 this far north and got it extended to a little bit past Glendale Avenue to the north. A little bit past Glendale Avenue, and then you had kind of temporary ramps that got you to Northern. And then back then you used Northern to go through Dreamy Jaw. Well, it's 40 after. I got 10 minutes. I'm going to chill and eat my Burger King. 8:49. Breakfast was good. Time to head over to the hotel. This one looks to be a little smaller than the one I usually work at up in Scottsdale. So I haven't done a good job of explaining what I did changing up my schedule. So yesterday, while I was between gigs or on my way to Circle K or whatever, looking at my phone, riding on the bus. On a brighter note, like, it is easier for me to see notifications and stuff when I'm riding the bus versus when I'm driving. When I'm driving, I'm focused on the road, so notices that come for jobs, I often miss them. And I've been pretty good at consistently finding work, but still, Like, I find out that, I could have had something better, and I missed it because I wasn't watching my phone, I was driving. Which is good. You shouldn't be watching your phone while you're driving, but I digress. Anyway, I got a pop-up from Winolo yesterday offering 5 shifts at this hotel today, so Tuesday through Saturday. And they're from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., same as what I've been working at the other one. I think it's only $16 an hour, so it's just a little over $100 a shift. So not the kind of money I need to be making. And on that note, it's the 10th, so I'm a third of the way through the month, and I don't feel like I'm a third of the way to paying all my bills yet, and that's kind of unnerving. Although this last week, I've generally just had one shift every day, and it's been a short shift with the exception of yesterday where I only had a 4-hour shift and a 2-hour shift. So that was just due to me being focused on other things and not really building my ShiftSmart schedule up to what it could be. Mostly because I was kind of focusing on what's going on with Rob, which is something I really need to focus on now, but I'll get to that. At least I hope I'll get to that. I got to make sure that I've got things squared away with the attorney by the time a writ of possession issues, if a writ of possession is going to issue. Although seeing Rob having someone come work on the air conditioning has me really wondering, like, if he's taken care of what he owes, or if he even knows he's getting evicted. I don't know. I have questions, let's put it that way. So anyway, I get this notice, and with Winolo, it's funny, sometimes when something like that is put out, you have to accept the whole schedule to accept the job. Like, there was one that came out like that on Sunday, and it was for the place that I worked at off of Roosevelt near 75th Avenue, where I kept going back and trying to get the supervisor to direct me on what work to do, and he just seemed so frustrated that I was doing that, but he wasn't really clear on what I needed to do. I mentioned that place, the place where the forklift drivers were snowplowing like 5 pallets at a time, which made me kind of uneasy. Anyway, that place there, it was $20 an hour, but they emphasize in there, must have reliable transportation, which is code for you need to have a car and drive. I don't think they can legally say you need to have a car and drive, but that's what that means. And usually once they find out you're riding the bus, you suddenly get cut. Anyway, I feel I probably could have made it to that job on the bus, but with all that I have scheduled. Well, I think the main reason I didn't do it is I had things scheduled for Monday on ShiftSmart, and I didn't want to cancel at the last minute. Now, according to ShiftSmart, you do get a penalty if you cancel with less than 24 hours before the beginning of a shift. That said, I did that again, and I've done that a couple of times. I mean, 2 or 3 times I've done it where I felt like I had to. So I accepted Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The way I had this gig set up in Winolo, you didn't have to accept the whole schedule. You could pick the days that you wanted. So I picked everything but today, because I figured, well, I can always go cancel those days in my ShiftSmart app, but I'm past the time to cancel tomorrow, I think. And then I opened up my app and realized that all I had for today in ShiftSmart was, I believe, a 2-hour truck put away from 7 to 9 a.m., which was not a flexible shift. I couldn't move it earlier and I couldn't move it later, at the Circle K, which I can walk to, and I walked to it once last week, over at 52nd Street in McDowell, and realizing that, I'm looking at all of like $30 total for yesterday, and just what bad luck I've had trying to pick up additional shifts and go to them without a car. The ones that pop up, they're just never close enough that I can get there by bus, with the exception of the ones that kept popping up, which they finally stopped happening at Osborne and 16th and McDowell at 16th, which make the app crash, so they're not really job offers.
I decided, you know what, for the amount of money difference between what I'm going to make here at the hotel and that little 2-hour shift at Circle K, and probably that being all I get for today, it's worth it to try to keep my income to what I can be, because like I said, I don't think I'm where I need to be this month. Anyway, I'd love to explain more with what I did with my changing of shifts, because there's quite a bit to explain, but it's 8:56 and I need to get inside and get clocked in.